Have you ever contemplated the role of unseen ocean dwellers in sustaining humanity? Braving storms and blizzards, individuals venture out to sea, defying nature to harvest over 180 million tons of seafood annually. This feat represents sheer courage and an indomitable will to conquer. Behind this staggering figure lies a new era for the seafood industry, where human ingenuity and mechanical prowess converge, transforming fishing from a struggle for survival into a global enterprise. Keep your eyes on this video, for it will soon reveal the most captivating scenes of the modern ocean, where science, technology, and human bravery unite in the pursuit of hidden treasures from the depths. So, let's begin with the most intense confrontations in the ocean, where humans face the planet's most notorious predator, the shark. The first step might seem simple, yet it dictates success or failure: choosing the fishing site. Be it nutrient-rich coral reefs, oceanic currents, or prey aggregation areas. Once the location is pinpointed, vast nets, stretching for kilometers, are cast into the sea. And as a shark swims by, its fins and steel jaws, symbols of its power, become the very chains that ensnare it. However, this method often harms non-target species. Consequently, many nations have tightened regulations, restricting fishing times, net mesh sizes, and mandating the installation of devices to release incidentally caught animals, thus protecting marine ecosystems. This is precisely why modern fishermen are transitioning to longline fishing, a method demanding strength, skill, and resolve. When a shark takes the bait, the deck instantly transforms into a battleground, with humans and apex predators vying for dominance. The key to success lies in fresh bait and low-frequency sound devices that mimic prey movements to lure sharks. On industrial vessels, sharks are processed directly on deck. They are stunned, and then cold seawater or ice is injected into their gills and abdominal cavity to maintain maximum freshness until the ships return to port. The grouper, a marine behemoth with a blunt snout, a powerful build, and a cold, steely gaze, is now primarily harvested from large-scale coastal fish farms in Southeast Asia. As the harvest season commences, vast offshore enclosures are gradually constricted, herding the groupers towards the center. Emerging slowly from depths of 20 to 30 kilometers, these giants appear. Their dense bodies and shimmering gold and silver scales gleam under the sun's rays, indicating they have reached peak physical condition. Fishermen work with swift yet precise movements, employing soft, specialized nets to gently lift each fish from the water. Every motion is crucial. Even a minor scratch can diminish its market value. Freshly caught groupers are immediately placed in tanks of aerated seawater, which helps them remain healthy and calm until they reach the shore. On deck, a designated team follows a strict protocol, checking water temperature and salinity, monitoring the condition of each fish, and ensuring every specimen meets quality standards. This is the culmination of over 2 years of continuous rearing, monitoring, and care, facilitated by modern aquaculture technologies. Each harvest holds not only significant economic value, amounting to tens of thousands of dollars, but also reflects the impeccable coordination between advanced farming methods and the expertise of fishermen. These prized catches are swiftly transported to processing plants, ensuring the preservation of the same freshness they possessed underwater. In the chilly northern waters of Japan and South Korea, as the sea temperature stabilizes around April to May, sea pineapple farms enter their peak harvest season. This moment signifies the culmination of a full year's cultivation. On highly mechanized farms, harvesting operates like a well-oiled conveyor belt. Long ropes densely covered in sea pineapples are lifted from the water using hydraulic cranes or pulley systems mounted on specialized vessels. As each rope passes through a washing chamber, hundreds of sea pineapples are automatically dislodged by a rotating drum mechanism that combines twisting force with water pressure. The process takes mere seconds but requires absolute precision to avoid damaging the spiny outer shell or the delicate inner flesh. Once detached, the sea pineapples are collected into large plastic containers or mesh bags, then hoisted by hydraulic cranes and immediately transported ashore or to floating pre-processing stations near the farms. This minimizes transport time, prevents spoilage due to temperature, and preserves the natural freshness of these deep-sea dwellers. However, smaller or traditional farms still employ manual methods. Each hanging rope can carry 100 to 150 mature sea pineapples, weighing up to 45 kilograms per rope. During harvest, farmers use winches or manual pulleys to raise the ropes, securing them along the boat's sides or on large floating buoys to reduce strain. Dozens of ropes are pulled up one by one, then slowly ferried ashore, where they await coastal processing stations. Despite being more labor-intensive, this traditional approach keeps the sea pineapples in their natural marine environment until the very last moment, preserving their fresh taste and reducing pre-processing biological stress. Across tropical Asia, freshwater prawn farms enter their harvest season just after the rains, when pond water levels recede, signaling readiness for a large-scale collection. This is the final stage of months of dedicated care, where skill, speed, and precision reach their zenith. Farmers cast wide nets, working in unison. One group holds a net steady while another narrows the circle, driving thousands of prawns towards the center. Underwater, their dense, wriggling bodies signify a perfect harvest. Once a tight circle is formed, the prawns are swiftly scooped out and transferred to aerated or chilled tanks to preserve their freshness and vitality. Every step is meticulously controlled, from timing to post-harvest handling. For the farmers, it is more than a job. It is the culmination of a year of devotion, where every catch reflects their pride. Off the coast of the North Atlantic, a different kind of hunt begins. It's a pursuit of the northern red shrimp, a rare species dwelling in Earth's coldest, deepest waters. In the vast expanse of the ocean, fishermen rely on natural cues, seabirds circling overhead or sonar signals indicating shrimp concentrations between 150 to 400 meters below. Once the location is confirmed, the order is given to deploy the nets. Giant winches and pulley systems lower funnel-shaped trawl nets to the seabed. Two large otter boards keep the mouth of the net open as it glides across the soft silt where red shrimp hide. Inside, automatic sorting devices release turtles and other bycatch back into the ocean, ensuring a sustainable and responsible catch. After 3 to 6 hours, the nets are hauled back, bulging and heavy, a sure sign of a successful haul. The red shrimp cascade into a loading hopper on deck, where an automated processing system immediately engages, washing, sorting, and flash freezing at -40 degrees Celsius to preserve their natural color and firm texture. From the moment they leave the ocean depths to their placement in onboard cold storage, the entire process takes mere minutes. This is a testament to the precision, speed, and technological might of modern North European fishing. Continuing our journey, we venture into the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean. Here, specialized fishing vessels slice through the waves, embarking on a thrilling pursuit known as the mackerel hunt. In this modern chase, no method proves more effective or exhilarating than the seine net. A colossal net, stretching hundreds of meters, plunges into the sea, forming a constricting circle, much like an invisible snare beneath the waves. Speed is the ultimate determinant of success. The faster the net closes, the fewer opportunities the fish have to escape. As the final rope tightens, akin to a steel noose, tens of tons of shimmering mackerel are trapped within a swirling silver mass, churning vigorously beneath the foamy water. Powerful hydraulic cranes spring to life, rhythmically hoisting each weighty catch and offloading it directly into the deep freeze holds, maintained at -22 degrees Celsius, preserving their pristine freshness. In less than 30 minutes, a single haul can yield over 200 tons of fish, a bounty that once took an entire fishing village weeks to gather. This is not merely a triumph of technology, but a relentless contest between humanity and the sea. Among the hundreds of fish species in the ocean, only the pufferfish can evoke both desire and dread in fishermen simultaneously. Tuna fishing demands speed. Mackerel requires nets. But catching pufferfish is akin to a knife game on a stormy deck, where every move teeters on the edge of danger amidst icy winds and crashing waves. The hunt begins with the most crucial element: bait. But not just any bait will suffice. Pufferfish are exceptionally picky. Fishermen must use freshly caught mackerel, meticulously cleaned, diced into perfect cubes, and salted to preserve their freshness. If the mackerel's oils turn rancid, the pufferfish won't even approach. Up to 20,000 bait cubes are prepared daily and packed into 250 ice boxes, all for a single 48-kilometer long line adorned with over 20,000 razor-sharp steel hooks. Once the bait is ready, the enormous line is slowly lowered into the sea. Its thousands of hooks form an invisible web beneath the surface, but it is then that the true risk begins. A sudden gust of wind, a lost buoy, and hundreds of hooks, worth thousands of dollars, vanish into the abyss. Many fishermen have been ruined after a single unexpected storm. Pufferfish fishing is not just an occupation. It's a high-stakes gamble with the ocean, where the line between ruin and fortune is determined by the mere pull of a hook. Tilapia, the most widely farmed whitefish on the planet with an annual catch exceeding 6 million tons, is often referred to as the chicken of the aquaculture pond. It is primarily harvested in the warm waters of Asia, Africa, and Latin America, where a stable climate and abundant freshwater create ideal growing conditions. Harvesting is accomplished using large barrier nets or specialized fish pumps. As tens of thousands of fish are gathered, the surface comes alive with movement. A team operates with perfect rhythm, gradually closing the net and herding the fish into a central zone. Every move must be precise, fast enough to prevent escape, yet gentle enough to avoid damaging scales or breaking fins. Once gathered, the fish are directly transferred into aerated tanks, the first cabins of aquaculture transport. Inside, water temperature and oxygen levels are carefully regulated, keeping the fish healthy and alive all the way to the processing plant. From capture to transport and processing, every stage is honed to perfection. This is because mere minutes of delay can impact meat quality due to biological stress. For fish farmers, it is not simply a technical process, but a code of respect for the creatures they raise and the arduous work that provides their livelihood. Unlike clams or scallops, which are often harvested on an industrial scale using sandblasting dredgers or powerful trawlers, blood clams largely remain tied to traditional manual harvesting methods, a rhythm deeply woven into coastal life. When the tide recedes to its lowest point, a narrow 2 to 3 hour window each day, hundreds of workers spread across the muddy flats, bent low, plunging their hands into the muck and scrounging. Some use steel rakes, 10 to 12 feet long, attached to long handles, carefully scraping the soft silt to uncover shells buried 5 to 10 centimeters deep. Every movement demands precision and sensitivity. Too much force, and the shell will break. Too little, and it will burrow deeper into the silt, losing its market value. However, to meet growing global demand, many shoreline farms have begun integrating controlled mechanization, employing modern drifter net systems. Heavy nets are lowered onto the muddy seabed, plowing long furrows and collecting clusters of clams that are then lifted by hydraulic cranes. Within minutes, hundreds of kilograms of crustaceans are discharged into onboard containers, then immediately washed, sorted, and packaged right on the vessel. Compared to traditional manual harvesting under a scorching sun on muddy shores, this new method is 5 to 10 times more efficient, yielding 5 to 8 tons per day. But speed comes at a cost: high upfront investment, and the risk of disturbing the seabed ecosystem, threatening plankton populations, and natural reserves that sustain future catches. Every November, the North Atlantic transforms into a battleground of scale. Vast shoals of sardines, weighing millions of tons, illuminate sonar screens like fiery red storms beneath the waves. The moment the signal sounds, crews lock onto their target, releasing seine nets exceeding a kilometer in length. Hydraulic winches tighten, thousands of buoys rise, and the suddenly open ocean collapses into a colossal steel trap. Tens of thousands of tons of shimmering silver fish are captured in a single haul, a spectacle that once required an entire fleet. Giant vacuum pumps roar, sucking torrents of fish aboard while preserving every glittering scale. Their power allows them to ingest hundreds of tons in mere minutes, tens of times faster than human hands could manage. With this technology, the ocean seems to be drained through a colossal straw, both brutal and breathtaking. In moments, the sardines are sealed in icy holds, preserving the taste of the ocean, ready to be served in millions of dishes worldwide. The journey of sardines doesn't end at our dinner tables. In the vast ocean, they serve another purpose, becoming a vital food source for the giants of the sea, tuna. And to satisfy the hunger of these marine warriors, technology once again comes to the rescue. Automated feeders act as silent chefs. Fishermen simply load a boat with fresh sardines or nutrient-rich pellets, and the system takes care of all the work, grinding, pumping, and evenly distributing the feed into the pens, creating mesmerizing rains of food on the water's surface. Tuna surge upwards in unison, devouring the feast, growing larger and stronger. This method of feeding ensures uniformity, reduces costs, and minimizes waste, transforming marine farms into sustainable sea meat factories, providing a stable supply for the global market. The seine method, employing nets up to 2 kilometers long and nearly 200 meters deep, is considered the prime weapon in tuna fishing in Spain and Mexico. This technique allows entire migratory schools, comprising thousands of tuna, to be encircled, resulting in over 7 million tons of catch annually. When sonar signals the presence of a school, the crew springs into action. A smaller boat pulls the leading edge of the net in a wide arc, while the mother ship smoothly releases the massive net, slamming the trap shut. Floats keep the top of the net buoyant, while heavy weights pull the bottom deep, turning it into a colossal moving wall, isolating the churning ocean. After hours of tension, the tuna gather tightly, thrashing furiously in the shimmering water. At this stage, fishermen deploy giant scoop nets, the size of swimming pools, to lift clusters of fish aboard. The entire operation is powered by robust hydraulic winches and cranes capable of lifting tons of tuna at a time. This not only spares the crew from arduous labor, but also significantly shortens harvest times. In October, the Bering Sea turns furious, and fishermen plunge into a deadly race for a fiery treasure, the king crab. It's one of the most dangerous professions on Earth. Giant crab traps, steel frames weighing over 300 kilograms, wrapped in strong netting and packed with herring as bait, are cast into depths ranging from 200 to 400 meters. Each trap, marked with a GPS buoy, descends into the icy darkness, where the titans of the deep await. After 24 to 48 hours, the golden moment arrives. Massive cages, laden with their catch, are hauled back by hydraulic cranes powerful enough to lift tons in seconds, replacing the grueling labor of dozens of deckhands. This technology shortens harvest times and reduces risk in the raging seas, while simultaneously boosting efficiency. As the traps open, dozens of scarlet king crabs spill onto the deck, and sorting begins immediately. Only mature males with shells wider than 16.5 centimeters and weighing at least 1 2/10 kilograms are selected. Females and smaller crabs are returned to the sea to preserve the population. The prize survivors are placed in tanks of chilled seawater, where they remain alive until the vessel reaches port, concluding another successful season in the perilous Bering waters. Goodbye, wild ocean. Today, over 80% of the world's salmon comes from massive marine farms in Norway and Chile, where aquaculture technology has transformed the entire seafood industry. The salmon's journey begins in a hatchery, where eggs and milt are fertilized under strict conditions. Within weeks, the eggs hatch into fry, which are raised in freshwater tanks with carefully controlled temperatures and oxygen levels. Once they reach 10 to 15 centimeters, they undergo smoltification, a remarkable transformation that allows them to adapt to saltwater. At this stage, the young fish must be transferred to massive, high-density polyethylene sea pens, where cold, oxygen-rich currents help them grow rapidly. And it's on this critical day of relocation that ingenious technology comes into play. Can you believe fish can actually use an elevator? In modern farms, transporting tons of live fish is now accomplished using a machine called a fish transfer pump. Instead of blades that could injure them, the pump creates a gentle, low-pressure water flow that smoothly transports the salmon through pipes, like a water slide, before shooting them directly into transport tanks or holding pens. The result? A safe, fast, and nearly stress-free journey for the fish. Born in Japan in the 1970s, the automatic squid luring method using chutes quickly became Asia's most efficient squid harvesting apparatus. Modern vessels are equipped with massive double-sided rigs and hundreds of glowing artificial lures, transforming the night sea into a floating city that attracts dense schools of squid. The artificial light doesn't just attract squid, it concentrates them at optimal depths to avoid predators, increasing catch efficiency several-fold. The automatic line system then kicks in. Motors cause the lines to twitch like live prey, attracting the squid, which are then guided by chutes into containers, preserving their shape and freshness. While ordinary squid live only a few years, this technology allows for millions of tons to be harvested annually without disrupting the ecosystem. One by one, fresh squid are collected, turning each trip into a feat of human ingenuity, where technology and nature combine to create a breathtaking spectacle on the night sea. On North America's silty tidal flats, high-pressure pumps have become the most advanced tool for harvesting a rare treasure. The Geoduck clam, workers precariously balance on the soft mud, inserting a tube precisely where the clam burrows 1 meter beneath the sand. A powerful jet loosens the soil, turning the dense sand into a liquid flow around the clam. Once the sand is softened, they carefully dig layer by layer with their hands or a small shovel, gradually extracting the massive clam whole, its long body stretching out like a human arm. The biggest advantage of this method is the saving of effort and the significant reduction in harvest time. However, it comes with severe challenges. Tides. A sudden rise can instantly flood the exposed flats, washing away tools and hard-earned clams in an instant. It's a heartbeat, a race between humans and the sea, where only the fastest and bravest can claim the prize. Abalone, a luxurious seafood often called the diamond of the sea, is now in full harvest season across many Asian waters. The process begins with the hoisting of heavy cultivation trays, each holding 200 to 300 tenaciously adhering abalone, onto a boat using cranes or automatic winches. Workers then carefully detach each abalone using specialized tools, ensuring the foot, the most prized part, remains intact. Next, the scallops are rinsed free of algae and sand, then fed onto a conveyor belt for sorting. Each specimen is evaluated for size and weight against strict standards. Japan demands absolute uniformity, while China seeks giant specimens for high-end restaurants. Finally, the scallops are packed into aerated foam boxes or chilled, ready for shipment worldwide, where they grace opulent dining tables at staggering prices. Scallops, the pearls of the ocean, aren't lured by light like sardines, nor are they tricked by fake bait like squid. Harvesting them requires the accuracy and skilled hands of experienced fishermen. Methods include pulling long lines or bottom trawling, where expertise is crucial. As hydraulic cranes haul up lines stretching tens of meters long, thousands of scallops cling on, revealing themselves like giant threads of raw pearl, their shells gleaming in the light. Each heavy line represents nearly a year of enduring rough waves and cold currents. And did you know, a scallop can live for over 20 years, accumulating exceptional flavor and nutrients throughout its life? With bottom retrieval methods, harvesting becomes even more rugged. Nets scrape across the seabed, gathering scallops, yielding large quantities but disturbing the marine environment. Today, suspension farming is gaining momentum. Sustainable, preserving the quality of each scallop, allowing fishermen to harvest safely and turning every sea trip into a spectacular display of nature and technology. In modern processing plants, the scallop shucking process is now fully automated, easing the workload for humans while maintaining speed and precision. Workers simply need to place the scallops on the conveyor belt, and the rest is done almost entirely by mechanical hands. A delicate blade glides along the shell, instantly splitting it open to extract the pristine white adductor muscle, while the shells and innards are whisked away. A single production line can process 8,000 to 10,000 scallops per hour, cleanly, quickly, and accurately. Perfect for export orders. What makes mussel coastal farming so unique and highly productive is a fleet of specialized boats equipped with hydraulic cranes and massive buckets to harvest mussels. As they approach the poles, the bucket is lowered close to the surface and acts like an automatic brush. It detaches the mussels, washing away dirt and debris with high-pressure water jets. The falling mussels are sucked into a collecting chamber and pumped directly into the ship's hold, speeding up the harvest, reducing labor, and minimizing damage to both poles and mussels. Compared to manual methods, on-rope mussel farms, harvesting is mechanized by an automatic mussel sorting machine on deck. As long Tens of meters long ropes are lifted, they are fed into the system. Rotating spikes combined with stiff brushes and high-pressure water jets clean the surface, detaching the mussels and easily sorting them, collecting them directly into holding bins. In just a few minutes, thousands of mussels weighing hundreds of kilograms per rope are processed, neatly, much faster than by hand. While China is known as the world's catfish processing hub, producing up to 60% of the global volume with its dense network of ponds and factories in its southern provinces, the United States is the premier battlefield outside Asia, one of the most demanding markets where every single piece of fish must pass the test of stringent hygiene, texture, and food safety standards before it earns a place on the dinner table. For decades, catfish has been prized as the king of affordable seafood, valued for its sweet flavor and exceptionally reasonable price. While 200 kilograms of catfish might fetch the price of just 1 kilogram of bluefin tuna, in terms of nutritional value, it's on par with high protein and low fat, proudly sharing the stage with some of the world's most prized seafood delicacies. Catfish are easily recognized by their long, whisker-like barbels, ultra-sensitive sensors that help them locate food and navigate murky, dark waters. These living sensors allow catfish to precisely detect prey and read their surroundings, making them cunning and agile hunters beneath the surface. To maintain and improve the quality of catfish breeds, the fertilization process is conducted methodically and rigorously, beginning with the careful selection of elite broodstock. After meticulous selection, these superior breeders enter a closed and strictly controlled breeding cycle. Female catfish are injected with hormones to induce ovulation, typically a mixture of domadilin, and then left for 6 to 12 hours until the eggs reach peak maturity. At the right moment, eggs are carefully collected in clean trays, and milt from males is obtained either by stripping their bellies or directly from their testes. Every step in this stage must be performed with absolute precision, speed, and sterility, as even the slightest error can jeopardize the entire batch of fry. Unlike salmon or sturgeon, known for their valuable roe, catfish roe possesses a rich, fatty flavor and a distinct fishy aroma. And if the mother fish has lived in polluted water or is diseased, the roe can contain pathogens or heavy metals, making it unsafe to consume when its origin is unknown. The eggs and milt are then gently mixed in an activating solution and evenly distributed across specialized trays, placed in a strictly controlled environment in terms of temperature, humidity, and hygiene. Immediately after fertilization, the eggs are not incubated. Instead, they are placed in large stabilization trays. Initially, the eggs appear pale yellow and slightly translucent, indicating the early stage of embryo formation. This is followed by a cold preservation stage, where the water temperature is kept consistently low to prevent thermal shock and fungal development. During this period, the eggs gradually turn a light pink color, a sign of healthy embryo development. When the eggs reach optimal biological maturity, specialists carefully remove them, rinse them, and transfer them to specialized incubation systems. Each batch of eggs is the result of a process controlled to the exact degrees Celsius and every drop of water, ensuring a robust foundation for the success of future catfish generations. In just 24 to 36 hours of incubation, the catfish eggs begin to hatch, revealing tiny, translucent beings suspended in the water, much like dewdrops. The larvae drift gently in the pristine depths. Catfish hatch much faster than many other fish due to their thin eggshell and rapid embryonic development. This stage, adapted to the warm waters of tropical regions, is extremely fragile. The larvae have no mouths and rely entirely on their yolk sacs for survival. They are housed in clean, aerated tanks with a stable temperature between 28 and 30 degrees Celsius and minimal water flow to protect the delicate offspring from damage. Each tank functions as a giant biological incubator, nurturing thousands of tiny lives, growing by the minute, beginning their journey to become healthy, valuable catfish. As the yolk sacs deplete, the fry begin to feed on soft, easily digestible foods, such as brine shrimp nopli or finely ground cooked egg yolk. After a few days, a high-protein powdered feed is introduced, evenly distributed across the water's surface in precise amounts. The correct timing and method of feeding not only promote rapid and uniform growth, but also minimize losses during these critical early days of life. When the fish becomes strong enough, farmers take an important step, transferring the young catfish to a larger rearing environment. Containers holding thousands of fry are gently poured into a transplanting chute, where a constant flow of water helps them gradually adapt to new conditions. From here, the fish are directed straight into the expansive grow-out ponds. This is not just a change of space, but a crucial stage in their development, where growth rate and survival will determine the success of the entire harvest. The grow-out pond is more than just a water reservoir. It is a meticulously designed ecosystem optimized for catfish growth. With a large surface area, proper depth, and a continuous water exchange system, these ponds accurately mimic natural habitats, allowing the fish to swim freely, digest food efficiently, and achieve exceptional growth. Moving the fish into these ponds not only frees up space but also marks a transition from intensive care to growth-oriented rearing. This is the stage where the fish begin to gain weight on their journey to market size, preparing for a successful harvest day. Under human supervision, catfish, once associated with wild and murky waters, are now farmed methodically like true industrial candidates. After approximately 5 to 6 months from the fry stage, they reach maturity. At this point, each fish weighs between 800 grams to 1.2 kilograms, possessing a firm body, thick dark skin, and a healthy sheen. These are all indicators that they have reached market standard. An impressive growth rate, averaging 1.5% of body mass per day with proper farming techniques, makes catfish one of the most efficient freshwater fish in terms of feed conversion, requiring only about 1.2 to 1.5 kilograms of feed to produce 1 kilogram of meat. However, to achieve rapid growth, farmers must understand a key instinct. Catfish are voracious eaters. Once they detect the sound of feed hitting the water, the entire school lunges towards the surface in a quiet yet intense feeding frenzy. This is why, in modern farms, feeding is no longer done manually. Instead, automated feeder systems are employed, mounted on specialized vehicles that travel along the pond banks, saving labor and ensuring uniform and precise delivery of feed for each growth stage. Each feeding session is like a military drill, executed with speed and minimal precision. As a result, the fish not only grow fast and uniformly, but also experience less competition and injury, a crucial factor in maintaining high market value until harvest. After approximately 5 to 6 months of grow-out, when the average catfish weight reaches between 1 to 1.2 kilograms, farmers proceed to harvest, a stage requiring both strength and precision to ensure meat quality and minimize losses. The process begins with the deployment of a sturdy nylon net with a mesh size of 3 to 4 centimeters, gradually narrowing it into smaller circles to corral the fish in a holding zone. On the surface, power boats and divers work in sync, creating gentle currents that guide the school into the net's pocket, the final point of concentration. The water churns and foams as tons of catfish thrash powerfully, creating a noisy and intense scene. Absolutely, here's the rewritten text in English, maintaining the original style and volume without adding extraneous information. Following fish concentration, an industrial crane lowers a massive mesh basket, scooping up each heavy load of several hundred kilograms. Water rapidly drains through the mesh to reduce weight during ascent and prevent suffocation. Catfish at this stage possess a dense body, thick silvery gray skin, and white bellies, clear indicators of a premium fish ready for processing plants. The fish are immediately offloaded into specialized tankers equipped with aeration and water circulation systems, maintaining densities of 150 to 200 kilograms per cubic meter. This is crucial as catfish are highly sensitive to environmental changes. Insufficient oxygen or abrupt temperature fluctuations can induce stress, diminishing meat quality. At HACCP certified farms, the entire operation, from net deployment to the tanker's departure from the pond, concludes in just 1 to 2 hours. The objective is to minimize the time fish spend in crowded conditions, preserving dense meat texture and high market value before processing begins. Upon arrival at the processing plant, catfish are promptly placed in chilled saltwater holding tanks. This dual-purpose treatment maximizes freshness and removes the characteristic slime from the skin. The fish then proceed through a high-speed washing system, where powerful jets of cold water at various angles meticulously cleanse them before reaching the sorting table. Only fish meeting quality standards proceed along the processing line, while substandard ones are separated for specialized handling. In the pre-processing zone, quality-approved catfish are processed without delay. Workers first remove heads and internal organs, either manually or with semi-automated equipment. Subsequently, the fish are fed into a state-of-the-art filleting machine. Here, razor-sharp blades precisely detach each piece of pale pink meat, clean and uniform. Every stage of the process is optimized for speed, hygiene, and consistent quality, preparing the fish for subsequent production phases. Although catfish do not have numerous small bones, extensive deboning is still performed post-filleting at processing plants to ensure absolute quality. In many traditional facilities, this is a manual operation conducted under bright lighting. Each fillet is placed on a chilled stainless steel table, and workers use specialized steel tweezers to remove even the smallest bones. A single pin bone can lead to the rejection of an entire batch in highly demanding markets like Europe or Japan. Not all catfish are selected for premium filleting. Those that do not meet appearance standards are handled separately. They are brined with refined salt and then rapidly frozen for optimal preservation of freshness and meat quality. The fish are then stored in strictly controlled cold rooms, ensuring their nutritional value and flavor are maintained before processing or distribution, allowing for the full utilization of every product portion within an efficient manufacturing process. For quality standard compliant flesh, the next step is arrival at an automated packaging line. Here, workers conduct a final inspection before placing fillets into ready-made trays. Each portion is precisely weighed to a standard weight, ensuring uniformity and visual appeal. Finally, products are labeled, traceability codes are applied, and they are neatly packed into chilled boxes, ready for shipment to supermarkets and discerning export markets. Each piece of flesh, despite its unassuming appearance, is the result of an entire chain of advanced technology. Behind the scenes, behind the chilled packaging, lies a key ingredient in a classic dish deeply rooted in American cuisine: crispy fried catfish. The famed southern fried catfish boasts a golden cornmeal crust that shatters with every bite, combined with its signature light gaminess, creating an unforgettable culinary experience. It's more than just a dish. It's a cultural icon of soul food, where food nourishes both the body and soul of African Americans, evoking memories of family bonds and community. In comparison to seafood like oysters, scallops, or mussels, which can be harvested in as little as a few months, abalone requires a minimum of 18 months to 3 years from the larval stage. Only when they reach a length of 6 to 12 centimeters with a uniformly hardened shell, thick flesh, and stable weight are they deemed ready for harvest, marking the culmination of a long and meticulous cultivation journey. The harvesting process begins with the retrieval of individual abalone trays from the sea using cranes or automated winches. Each tray typically holds 200 to 300 abalone, packed tightly together and weighing several dozen kilograms.